I gotta do it this way, because if I do it this way, is it inverted? No, it's not. So the front screen doesn't invert. All right, so this is what we're going to do. Today's due now. All right, and we got to solve for TI. This is for students, because usually students don't come in until Tuesday. I don't know, the weekend always slows them down. But this is a recording that's going to be uploaded, and just because Facebook likes to block things, this is fair use and also educational purposes. So I hope you see that. All right, so let's start off with the problem number. So you have to use, this is your do now section, where you'll be filling it out in your document. We post the video and the recording. Hopefully that works. Make sure this thing's working right. Yeah, sometimes my camera is the other way, everything's inverted. Like, I don't know why. So we go here, we got the equation AAV, right, is equal to, we have a ratio, and that's going to be DF minus DI, all divided by TF minus TI, right? And this is known as your average acceleration equation. Let me write that out for you. So this is known as average acceleration. And that's what you was asking me a moment ago, Amber. Is that AV? Yes, AV is for average. So what do? Well, we want to get this joker right here. So we're going to solve. The goal is to solve, right, for TI. And I don't mean the wrapper. I'm talking about initial time, right? So we do that. Take this off because I'm sweating. Hot in here. All right, so let's look at this very carefully. We're going to take the equation and we'll rewrite it again. So if you were typing this, you just copy this and put it here. But you have AV is equal to, just rewriting it, because we're about to do some surgery on it. I, TF, and TI. So to get this TI isolated, we first got to get out the denominator. In order to do that, we can treat this whole entity or element at the bottom as one unit by turning it into by grouping it. That's what you call it in mathematics. You group something and you substitute it to something else. It makes it easier to move around in algebra. So I'm going to put parentheses around this. And the reason I did it is I want to make sure I take that with me as a unit all around the problem. So since it's in the bottom, that means it's being divided. The reverse of division, of course, is multiplication. So you're just going to make another ratio, and anything like this is like the same as saying this. Anything that's by itself is really in mathematics the same as saying it's over 1. So that's all I'm doing. So I'm going to multiply by that same element because I want to get out the bottom and put it over the other side of the equation. Okay. So don't forget what you do mathematically. The one side of the equation you got to do to the other side of the equation. That's the algebra part. So let's multiply it and put this over here because we want to make sure we don't break no mathematical rules. So by doing that, I am now able to cross out some elements. Okay, so I can cross out these two because TF minus TI over TF minus TI is 1. They cancel out, and then we rewrite the equation. So this is an iterational step. Let's do another step here. We'll write what's there without the cross-outs, right? So this just comes down. Okay. Let's multiply it by A, B. It's equal to, this is gone, so it's just, this part up here just drops on down. Right? Okay. This is your only one here. I'm slowing down, so let me know when I can continue. Lucky you get a one-on-one tutor today. Got it? Still working. All right, so I'm gonna write it again because this is a step, right? And in math, what they do is called mathematical proofs. So it just shows all of your work because it shows you understand what you're doing. So we're gonna write it again, and it's gonna be That's what it is. We're gonna do some more algebra on it. So we get all the way down to the TI portion. F minus VI, right? So now we gotta get this away from these parentheses here, so we get inside the parentheses and get to TI. So we're gonna strategically get closer and closer to TI. So if you notice, this little star here means multiplication. So just do the reverse of multiplication, which is now division. Okay? So we can divide this whole thing by what we don't want next to the parentheses, and that is A and B, right? But again, stay consistent. What you do to one side, you don't break no mathematical rules. You do to the other side. I'm now able to cross these out, and I can rewrite it again without the stuff that's been crossed out, right? So this is another step. And since you only went here today because people playing hooky, you can tell me to slow down, and I will. Right? Come down one, and when we rewrite this, you write everything but what's crossed out. So this is going to become TF minus TI, right? Close parentheses. It's not divided anymore because we canceled out that section, so you just write that. This is equivalent to VF minus VI, final velocity minus initial velocity, and then divided by your average acceleration. So now that you got that, you see how we're getting closer and closer to TI. So we still got a little more work to do. You can literally take the parentheses away because they're by themselves now, right? And if you look real carefully, all we gotta do is probably 2 more algebra steps. So make sure it's all there, so when I send this to the students, they can see everything. So we go, write it again because we gotta do some work on it. So TF minus TI, VF minus VI, all over average acceleration. I see 2 more steps, so I'm gonna try to squeeze it over here. I see here that I have a TF, right? So I'll move this over a little bit. I know to get rid of TF over here, I have to use the opposite sign of it, which is negative TF. So I'm going to include a negative TF here. Negative TF plus TF is 0, so it goes away. But what you do to one side, again, stay consistent. You have to do to the other side. Okay? So that allows me to cross out the TFs in this case, right? And they annihilate each other. Okay? And we'll come over here because I'm running out of room and finish this off. This step is really unique for students because they don't understand that that's not the same as saying TI. That's a negative TI. So you gotta do some more to it to get it just as TI. Okay? So that's also an SAT thing. So try to watch this trick. So it's negative TI. This is just rewriting what's there. These are gone. Equals VF minus VI divided by your average acceleration, right? So if we take it closely, I wrote this step here, but write again because we might do some work on it. TI equal to VF minus VI divided by your average acceleration. Okay, and then what you do is you look at this as negative 1. That's really what that is, negative 1 times that variable, which is initial time, or TI. So if that's times, that means you do division. So let's go ahead, and most people assume in mathematics you know that means multiplication right there. Just like 2x, that's like 2 times x, or 2v, 2 times v. There's a multiplication aspect. So I'm going to divide by a negative 1, because I want to get that negative sign off of there. But what you do to one side, guess what? You gotta do it to the other side, right? Oh, I forgot some stuff over here, didn't I? I forgot this too. Let me rewrite the rest. I forgot something. Something's missing. It's supposed to be a negative TF over here. That's TF. Okay, and that needs a negative TF too. There we go. Wait, something looks wrong. So all of this, let's do this like this, will be divided by a negative 1, which is just going to flip the signs everywhere, okay? So let's see, what do we got? We can say that, how do we rewrite this? This is all divided by a negative 1. This sign gets absorbed, so we end up flipping each sign in here we cross out the negatives now. And you have TI from now on. TI is equal to, we're going to say negative, let's make this easier on you. Sometimes it confuses students when I do it the other way. VF minus I all over A. And negative will be absorbed. You write it like that so it's not confusing. Because sometimes when I did this like last year, students didn't like the other way that it wrote. And then you can just treat this as one individual entity and say plus TF, okay? So that way it's simplistic and you won't have to worry about getting confused about the signage. I'll box my answer. And that's the end of your do now, okay? So let me give you about 2-3 minutes to finish that up. You still gotta type it up though, as best you can. And let me stop this because I gotta get ready for the next assignment. Okay. I hope that recorded okay because I gotta share this with the students.